So find a comfortable seat. And once you do, make sure that your sit bones are really planted. Maybe move the flesh away. Make sure that you're nice and comfortable. And then float your palms together as if you're going into Anjali Mudra. But then you're just going to press the tips of your fingers together and just make a little bit of a cup in your hands. So the bottom part of the outer palms are still together. The thumbs are touching. And you can just look in there like a little cave. Let that rest at your heart. Bow your head down and just let your gaze soften to about 9/10 open. Move into a natural breath. So this is called mudra of holding the jewel. The jewel is your true nature, your heart center. So imagine as you gaze into this opening through the back of your eyelids, sparkling jewel, whatever color it is for you. And notice, though it's still, there's still ripples of color and light moving through it. Even though its foundation is stillness, there's lots and lots of movement. It changes as the sun hits it, as the clouds move by. Let your attention focus on that beautiful jewel. Feel the energy of it connecting to the energy around you. Letting yourself sink so deeply into your heart of hearts. That foundation that's you. And all of the movement, all of the change, all of the evolution that goes on around that center of stillness. We are evolving beings, right? It's our nature to grow and to change. As individuals and also as the collective, things change all the time. Learning and knowledge is really helpful, but even more important, I believe, is the ability to unlearn. To be able to let go of the old ideas that served us. I think of things like an old favorite shirt that you bought. Remember when you bought it and you thought it was the best thing ever and you loved it and you wore it all the time. And now years later, you look back at pictures and you say, oh my God, what was I thinking? Right? The beauty of that shirt didn't change. It's the eyes that are looking at it. We evolve through our lives, through experiences, through different stages, through the different thoughts and ideas that come our way. And so nothing is good or bad or right or wrong. Things just shift and change. The ideas that we have that served us so well at some point have an expiration date. Relationships often do too. So the question isn't whether things are going to change, but whether we are going to allow ourselves to make space in our minds and in our lives for those changes to take root and to fully grow into what they're supposed to be. Right? So when we move away from the idea of unlearning, when we just keep on gathering knowledge and knowledge and knowledge and knowledge and don't make any space for what's already in there, then we have this energy that kind of mixes and melds together. And that's why so often I believe we're indecisive. I know I am. It'll take me forever to make a simple decision about something because there'll be all these different perspectives moving through my head because there's no clarity. And so when we do our practices, when we meditate, when we have these open discussions, I love when Neil does his Wednesday nights during teacher training, because there's this discussion, this dialogue that goes on around the sutras and the meanings of the different sutras, and everybody has their different ideas. When we participate in that, when we listen to other perspectives and we put our perspectives out there and we're open to taking in something new and letting something go, then we're clearing that space so that this new learning, this new knowledge can kind of come in and meet us where we are and support us on where we are on our path now. I'm going to read something from my little book here, the Book of Awakenings. It's called Burning the Wrapper. From the beginning, the key to renewal has been shedding, the casting off of old skin. The Polynesians say the world began when Taro, their name for the creator, woke to find himself growing inside a shell. He stretched and broke the shell, and the earth was created. Taro kept growing, though, and after a time found himself inside another shell. Again, he stretched and broke the shell, and this time the moon was created. Again, Taro kept growing, and again he found himself contained by yet another shell. This time, the breaking forth created the stars. In this ancient story, the Polynesians have carried for us the wisdom that we grow in this life by breaking successive shells, that the peace of God within each of us stretches until there's no room to be, and then the world as we know it must be broken so that we can be born anew. In this way, life becomes a living of who we are until that form of self can no longer hold us. And like Taro in his shell, we must break the forms that contain us in order to birth our way into the next self. This is how we shed our many ways of seeing the world. Not that any are false, but that each serves its purpose for a time until we grow and they no longer serve us. Take a few more deep breaths here, really now taking a deep, deep inhale, really drinking in beauty of that jewel in your hands. And as you exhale, exhale nice and long, even longer than the inhale, releasing and making space. A few more breaths, just like that. And then let those palms move together. Anjali Mudra. As we open with Om Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Deep inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Guru Dev Namo. Pause and feel. And we'll move into our next chant, Ad Gare Name, celestial communication version, Ad Gare Name at the heart, Jugad Gare Name, third eye, Sat Gare Name, opening to the universe, Siri Guru Dev Name, back to the heart, 3 times. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Pause, feel yourself, be and breathe. Feeling that request of the divine to offer protection, creating space inside of you, the vibration of this chant, moving right through that center channel, this Chuminati, making space for newness, giving you the courage to allow the release of things that feel so familiar and yet stand in the way of truly allowing that jewel to shine so brightly. Then letting your hands press up toward the sky. Deep inhale. Pull that navel center, the pelvic floor up, up, up. And then as you exhale, arms come wide, moving through your auric field, merging with the energy of the earth. And for a moment, allowing a sense of gratitude for the grace of all of that to move through you. And then bringing your hands onto your knees. Begin to drop your chin to your chest. And then let your head float up toward the ceiling, your nose. Just keep moving, breathing, inhaling up, exhaling down. Beginning to stretch that neck. And the next time that your chin moves up toward the ceiling, stay there for a moment. And then let your right ear float to your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, left ear to left shoulder, and keep moving from side to side. Thinking about the idea of unlearning. Unlearning is not forgetting. It's just making way for new perspectives to take root by allowing old ideas to get put on pause. Right? It's like waging a war with your own ideas. It takes a lot of courage, right, to argue with what you think you know to be true. Next time that your head comes to center, stay there. Inhale your arms up to the sky, thumbs projecting out toward the back wall behind you, arms out in a V. We're going to move into Ego Eradicator. So this is a breath of fire with our arms up like this. So your thumbs are curled in, your fingers are curled into your palms, thumbs are out. You're just going to begin breath of fire here. Close your eyes. So breath of fire is an even inhale and exhale through the nose, pumping that navel center up and back with every exhale. That should happen pretty naturally as you relax your body and just pump that breath. It's a super cleansing breath. And as we move the ego out of the way, we begin to make space for that wisdom and that trust in the universe to rise up that allows us to question the very ideas that our entire foundation was built on. Right? There's some kind of magic in knowing that what I believed yesterday, I don't have to believe today. Our wardrobes change. We move from location to location. Some of us, everything changes. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's just open to exploring. 30 more seconds here. If your arms get tired, stretch them up more or just move them in a little bit. Deep inhale, pelvic floor, navel center comes up. Stretch your fingers up toward the sky. Stretch, 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 hold, hold, hold. Palms together as you exhale down to the heart center, eyes closed. Pause and feel. There is this sense of expansiveness in being able to allow yourself to stand in somebody else's shoes and see things from a different perspective, to not be so dug in on what we believe. Right? There's this sense of adventure. It's like tasting a new food. Right? We never know what it's going to taste like, no matter what we've been told, until we actually take that bite and decide for ourselves. Feel the space we're creating today. And then let your hands drop down to your knees. Just begin to shrug your shoulders up to your ears and let them drop. Again, bringing your breath right along with it. The deeper that we can bring our breath into our body and the more of an exhale, the more of a release that we can accomplish as we breathe, the more space we create. Right? When we're tired and we feel so stagnant, we do breaths or we move a little bit, and then all of a sudden there is this energy, this renewed burst of something that lets us kind of wake up and feel alive again. Come to stillness. Take your right leg, kind of pick it up, holding your right knee in your right hand, your left foot in your left hand. And just begin to rock your hip open and closed. Yeah, beautiful, Margie. Thank you so much, Margie. You're the best. Margie's our model today. So we move our body in different directions. We open the joints to create space. So much of the energy of our beliefs, the energy of our emotions, the triggers from the past are held in our joints. The hips are definitely one of the hiding holes for those things. And the next time that your knee comes out to the side, pause there. Take your right hand, grab your right toe, release your left hand, and then bring that foot straight up into the air. You can straighten the knee or not. Close your eyes and take a breath or two here. And then bring that foot back in and switch sides. Cradling and rocking the left foot. Opening that hip. I was reading an article about the idea of unlearning, and it talked about how unlearning was simply broadening our perspectives, giving us more tools in our toolbox of how to live. They talked about an engineering company who sent some of their brightest and best engineers to other countries that had less technology than we had, that were further behind. And they didn't send the technology along with them. They sent them there. Next time your knee comes out, pause, grab a hold of that left toe with the left hand, release the right hand, left foot up. There you go. They sent them there so that they can face the same challenges they did here, but without the same tools they had. And so they had to become creative. They had to find different ways. And they did. It expanded their perspective, and that allowed them to come back here and grow and shift even more. You know, the things that we know become crutches. Release that foot down. Roll over onto your hands and knees, tabletop. Take some cat-cows here. Drinking in that breath as you inhale and you exhale. And give our conscious attention to things like the breath that we breathe. It takes on a whole new flavor. We move through this life so often on autopilot, and that autopilot is often fueled by our old experiences or old beliefs, the things that we've done, seen, been told, experienced, right? When we come into this present moment, we dance with our breath, we dance with the movement of our body, with the energy around us. And all of that stuff stays in its place in the rearview mirror, and our eyes and our hearts are focused on what's in front of us. Come to stillness. Bring your spine back to neutral. Curl your toes. Hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Stretch here for a moment. And then let your knees come back down to the mat. Begin to roll your hips from side to side in circles, moving forward and back. Maybe creating a little bit more space by moving your hands forward a bit. And moving in the other direction. Pausing. Bringing your hands back in. So they're right underneath your shoulders, curling those toes, lifting up, downward facing dog. This time you're going to take your right foot and step it to the outside of your right hand. And then keeping that right hand planted like a kickstand, inhale the left arm up to the sky. Taking the time to find your balance. Beautiful. You guys look amazing. Susan, I know you do too, even though I can't see you, I feel you. Bring that left hand down. Step your right foot back. Let those knees come to the mat. Cat-cows here. And then coming to neutral. Moving back into downward facing dog. Stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Planting that left hand like a kickstand. Right arm floats up to the sky slowly. Breathing here. You think about it, right? In the beginner's mind, there's so much space, there's so much room to learn and to grow. In an expert's mind, there's only a little bit of room because there's already so much in there. Exhale down. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Pause for a moment and forward fold, Uttanasana. Let your right hand float to the outside of your left ankle, left arm up to the sky. Exhale down and switch sides. Do that a couple more times, moving from side to side. So unlearning is the practice of allowing ourselves to being open to exploring new ideas, to kind of archive that old energy, those old beliefs. Next time you come down, stay. Bend your knees slightly. Inhale your arms forward and up. Come all the way up to stand. Palms together at your heart. Pause and feel. And then take your arms out to a T. Step your feet out a little bit away from each other. And then just begin to tilt your right arm down towards your right knee. Left arm comes up and over. Inhale, back up slowly to that T, move to the other side, and you're just going to teeter back and forth this way, stretching from side to side, using those slightly widened legs. It's a beautiful foundation to hold you as you flow. We create space in our body, and we move more freely when we create space in our minds. There too, we grow, we move more smoothly. So all of that indecision, all of that conflict in our minds, what's right, what's wrong, is a result of having all of this information piled on top of other information. It's our subconscious mind that's overflowing with so much input. Next time you come up to a T, stay there. Inhale your arms up overhead, palms together, diving down through the middle of your body, letting your hands rest on the floor. And then begin to move from side to side here, maybe bending one knee and then the other. Just a little wiggling back and forth. Our minds get stuck in patterns. Those patterns, they rise up and they stand in the way of learning new things. It's a real challenge when someone says something that contradicts our current understanding. Sometimes I immediately get defensive and say, no, that's not right. Come to stillness. But when we can take that pause and just notice that it just is uncomfortable because it's not what I'm used to. Let me hear more. Let me chew on this a little bit. Let me digest this a little bit and see if there's something here for me. And if there is, I can take it in, I can learn more, I can look at it differently. And if there's not, I can let it go. Right? But the holding on, the refusal to even let that new information take root, that for me is what's damaging. That's for me what holds back my ability to grow into what's next. All right, begin to heel toe your feet back toward each other. And then once you get there, bend your knees slightly. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive back down. Plant your hands, step one foot back and then the other. Bring your knees to the mat. And come into easy sitting pose. I'm going to do a few exercises for immunity. So think about what immunity is. Immunity is kind of a freedom, right? And so it's our immune system. When our immune system is healthy, it keeps us free from illness, right? And when our mind is, in this sense, is bathed in this immunity, it keeps us free from that stagnancy, from that what's the word I'm looking for? It just keeps us, it allows us to continue to move and to flow. So these are some simple exercises that I thought were really fun. I hope you do too. No stretch pose, Jen. Inhale your arms behind you to your sacrum. You're going to interlace them there. And just create some space, either maybe by bringing your shoulders up towards your ears a little bit, or letting your shoulder blades come together, pulling down. And then you're just going to begin to sway your arms and your body from side to side, just kind of wiggling. Close your eyes and find ease here. So if you feel like you're really crunched up, find a way to make space. Pause maybe and readjust those shoulders. Just keep going and moving. There's a quote by a philosopher. His name is Alvin Toffler, and he said, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. Instead, it will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." I've seen so much lately in the news of people who have made these public statements and have offended other people, and in the others being able to speak out and say, "I'm offended by that," the people who made the statements were able to look at it and say, "Wait a second, you're right. I didn't realize it, but I am prejudiced, or I am this, or I am that." And they've been owning it publicly. They haven't dug in and said, "I'm right no matter what." They've looked at it and they've brought in their perspective, and they're allowing it to help them grow as human beings. And as we grow as human beings, as individuals, as a collective, we begin to grow also. It's how things like racism begin to fall away. It's how we begin to evolve as a society when we take responsibility as individuals. For the last 30 seconds, go really quickly. Bring your breath with you. Right? This is a regenerating exercise. It banishes negativity, and it's also supposed to be really good for your complexion. It's going to make you glow. Come to center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release those hands. You're going to bring those hands now up so that the thumbs are kind of under the armpits. Your hands are on your chest. And you're just going to begin. Yep, you got it? Yep. And you're just going to begin to circle your elbows. Close your eyes, because we all look like chickens. And just circle, let it flow. Releasing some of that heart energy. So a lot of the stagnancy in us emanates from that heart place, because who hasn't been wounded? If we're a human, we're wounded. Just being birthed into this world is traumatic, right? So moving some of that stagnant energy. Like wings, right? Make your breath move with your arms. Nice quick breath as your arms move, clear, make space. And then pause for a moment, bring your arms straight out to the sides, and just begin to flap your wings up and down. Close your eyes and just feel the air. Imagine that you're a bird right now. Imagine birds flying through the air. Can you feel that wind under your wings? Can you feel the freedom in that? Keep flapping away. And let your hands come down to your knees. Close your eyes. Feel the energy. So the thoughts and the ideas that we think, the way that we see the world right now, affects who we are right now. So who we're going to be tomorrow will be affected by the thoughts and the ideas that we allow to percolate in our minds now. Right? Who we've been, who we are today is what we've been. Who we're going to be tomorrow depends on what we allow ourselves to take into our perspective today. Who do you want to be tomorrow? It's a question I ask myself often. And what do I need to change in my mind first, and then in my actions to become that? And then do I have the patience to allow myself to stumble and fall and make mistakes while I'm on my path to being that? Think about that. Can you love yourself enough to allow yourself to evolve into who you want to be tomorrow, as awkwardly as it may be? Slowly make your way to your backs. And once you get there, you're going to take your hands and slide them under your butt. Your legs are going to be out straight. You're going to begin to raise one leg and then the other. It doesn't matter which one you start with, alternately up and down. And you're going to move through breath of fire as you move your legs. You're only going to do this for a very short time. There you go. Yep. Find that breath of fire. So let the one leg actually touch the ground as the other one comes up. Yeah. And then let both legs rest on the mat, keeping your hands where they are. Take a few breaths. Maybe bring your knees into your chest for a moment and rock from side to side. Release that lower back a bit. And then let your legs come back out straight. Place those hands again under your butt. This time you're going to raise and lower both legs at the same time as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. So go for it. Inhale your legs up to the sky. Hold the breath in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And as you exhale, bend your knees, let your feet come down to the mat. Move your feet nice and wide and take a few windshield wipers. And then letting the legs come back out long again. You're going to place your hands under your head, fingers interlaced. Bring your legs up in the air, and we're just going to rock as if you were rocking on your spine. You know how we do it with our knees into our chest? We're going to do it this way. Just rock up and down on your spine. Come up a little bit. Yeah, it could be a very subtle movement, just a little bit of rocking. And then as you continue to rock, release your hands, bring those knees into your chest, and rock a few more times until you find yourself up in a seat. Once you get there, place your hands on your heart. Flat against your heart. Close your eyes. Feel that energy. We're going to chant together in monotone the mantra of answered prayers, our Das Bayi. This chant calls upon the energy of Guru Amar Das, who is the guru of hope for the hopeless, and Guru Ram Das, the guru of miracles. So it's a very simple chant. I will chant it on my end and you can join in. Our Das Bayi, Amar Das Guru, Amar Das Guru, Our Das Bayi, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Sachi Sahi, Our Das Bayi, Amar Das Guru, Amar Das Guru, Our Das Bayi, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Sachi Sahi, Our Das Bayi, Amar Das Guru, Amar Das Guru, Our Das Bayi, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Sachi Sahi, Ardas Bai, Amar Das Guru, Amar Das Guru, Ardas Bai, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Ram Das Guru, Sachi Sai. Just pause now. Feel that energy, the mantra of answered prayers. Allow to come into your consciousness a prayer or two that you would love to be answered. Feel the space inside of you expand to allow those answers to come in whatever form they do. Trusting that the path that you're led down to achieve these wishes, these prayers, is the perfect path for you, and that you will receive all you need, the learning and the unlearning, to move toward those prayers. And as you let your hands come down, you're going to come up to stand. We're going to move into archer pose for a few minutes. And we're going to move into another chant as well. We'll talk about that. So you're going to come into warrior two, basically. You're going to bend that front knee. Doesn't matter which one you're on, which side you're on. And so whatever side you're on, the thumb of that, let me see. So your Margie's on your right. So your right thumb is going to come up and you're going to gaze out over that right thumb. So archer pose. Does everybody have that? Crystal, do you see? You got it, right? Okay. And the other arm is going to be pulled back. And we're going to chant together Gobinde Mukande Udade Apade Hariam Karyam Nirname Akame. And it is the chant, it's the aspects of the divine that live in all of us. And it's a reminder that everything that we need, we have inside of us already. It clears the subconscious from all of that energy that holds us prisoners into who we've been. And it allows us the freedom to see the path in front of us. So staring at that thumb, begin to chant with me. Gobinde, Mukande, Udade, Apade, Hariam, Karyam, Nirname, Akame. 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 Switch sides, just swivel your feet so you turn in the other direction. Settle into your archer pose, staring at the path in front of you. Gobinde, Mukande, Udade, Apade, Hariam, Karyam, Nirname, Akame. Gobinde, Mukande, Udade, Apade, Hariam, Karyam, Nirname, Akame. Gobinde, Mukande, Udade, Apade, Hariam, Karyam, Nirname, Akame. Take a deep breath and just feel. Step your back foot to meet your front, coming in to stand at the top of your mat, Tadasana. Bring your arms straight out in front of you. Make a cup with your palms facing up. Close your eyes and chant with me. Ad such, Jugad such, have a such, Nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Ad such, jugad such, have a such, nanak ahosi be such. Just pause and feel. Who you came here as is who you are and who you will always be. That jewel, that shining jewel, that truth, that foundation upon which light reflects and changes and shines. Take a deep breath in, squeeze everything up, and then exhale, bringing your hands to your sides. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Bring your palms together and dive down through the midline of your body, bending your knees, planting your hands. Wiggle your hips here a few times. And then coming to stillness, step one foot back and then the other. You're going to find yourself in child's pose as your knees come to the mat, open wide, your toes come together. Your hips move back towards your heels. Your heart melts into the arms of Mother Earth. Taking some nice deep breaths here. There's a story about a master who was trying to explain something to a student, and it was a long-time student, a brilliant student who had so much knowledge. And as the master tried to explain this new knowledge, this new experience to the student kept trying to hold this information against the notions of what he already knew, the things he knew to be true, the way the world is. And so he couldn't understand, he couldn't take in the lessons that this master was trying to give him. And so finally the master took 2 teacups and placed them in front of each of them. And he poured his cup full of tea, and he poured his student's cup full of tea. And he said to the student, I'm going to give you some of my tea now. And he began to pour the tea from his cup into the student's cup. And as the hot tea spilled out all over, the student said, Master, what are you doing? That cup can't hold any more tea. You have to stop and empty it before you can put any more in. And the master looked at him and said, exactly. Sometimes we have to let go of our thoughts and ideas and beliefs. We have to clear out a little bit in order to take in. And so in order for you to have room in your mind for what I have to teach you, you must first become empty. You must first let go. Slowly begin to walk yourself up to a seat. And we're going to do one more meditation before we move onto our backs. And this is called meditation to learn to unlearn. Sitting in easy pose, you're going to place your left hand flat against your chest. Your fingers are parallel to the ground. Your thumb is pointing up, so it's like an L shape. You're going to take your right pointer finger, and we are going to chant along with Sa Ta Nama. It's going to look like this. Sa, your pointer finger is going to touch right underneath your lower lip. Ta, your nose. Na, the outer right eye. Ma, your third eye. Sa, ta. This time, we're going to move to the left, outer left eye. Na, ma. And then we're going to keep going, alternating from left to right. Does that make sense? So it's going to be sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Got it? Good? All right, close your eyes. And remember, however you do it, it's going to be perfect. Go. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Keep going at your own pace. This Kriya helps to release situations in your childhood that you carry with you. The familial energy that dictates sometimes the way we see the world. Clears those triggers. Brings us to a state of higher consciousness, where we can dedicate ourselves to unlearning those things that no longer serve us in our lives. So many of these things are so deeply embedded in our subconscious that we don't even know that we're doing them, that we're saying them. That's why the wise universe continually sends us people to reflect back to us those things that need to come up and out in order for me to become the best version of me today. The next time that you touch your third eye, let your hands drop to your knees. Take a deep, deep breath in and hold the breath in and picture yourself as a child. Picture yourself, feel the energy of that young child. Exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath. Picture that child again. Feel that child being held in your heart, loved for exactly who she is, how she is. Exhale. One more time. Inhale deeply. Hold, hold, hold. See that child again. Bless that child. Allow yourself in this moment to be that child. Exhale. Pause and feel. You can either stay here to meditate or make your way to your back. Take a spinal twist or two and then move into Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Taking a really, really deep inhale, filling completely from your fingertips to your toes, crown of your head. Exhaling, exhaling, exhaling all the way out, letting it all go. Begin to rotate your wrists and your ankles. Let your knees float into your chest. Your arms out to a T. If you're on your back, let your knees drop off to the left, your gaze to the right. If you're seated, take a spinal twist to the left. And then move to the opposite side. Coming back to center. If you're on your back, knees into your chest. Bring the soles of your feet, the palms of your hands together, rub, connecting with that inner fire. And then slowly begin to rock yourself up and down on your spine and roll to your right to join the rest of us in the seat. Once you get there, palms together at the heart center, eyes closed. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice with a long Sat Nam, a deep inhale. Sat Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own radiant heart. Be love, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam, everybody.